So let's talk about one of the biggest geopolitical screw ups of the post Cold War era, Ukraine giving up those nukes. The Budapest Memorandum was a deal in 1994 where Ukraine gave up the third largest nuclear arsenal in the world for some pretty vague promises from Russia, the United States, and the United Kingdom. And it did not age well. In 1991, the Soviet Union collapsed, and suddenly Ukraine had something like 1,900 nuclear warheads on its territory. That was more than China, the United Kingdom, and France combined. These are ICBMs, bombers, cruise missiles. Ukraine had it all. It wasn't just a regional power, it was a nuclear superpower overnight. But there was a catch. Ukraine didn't have full control over those weapons. You've got launch codes. They were still in Moscow's hands. They're probably something simple like 001 to send them off. The supply chain was Russian made. The maintenance was expensive as hell. Keeping nukes meant years of investment and pissing off both Russia and the West. So, enter the Budapest Memorandum. The United States and the United Kingdom wanted nuclear nonproliferation. You didn't want nuclear weapons all over the place. Russia wanted to keep Ukraine defenseless. So in 1994, Ukraine gave up its nukes in exchange for security assurances that everyone, including the United States and Russia, would respect its sovereignty and its borders. Good neighbors. The Budapest Memorandum gave security assurances to Ukraine in exchange for giving up those weapons. It said that Russia, the United States, and the UK would respect Ukraine's sovereignty, independence, and its existing borders. It would refrain from using force or threatening force against Ukraine. And it would avoid using economic pressure to influence Ukraine's policies. And it would seek immediate United Nations Security Council action if Ukraine was ever threatened or attacked by a country with nuclear weapons. So now, in theory, Russia, the United States, and Ukraine basically promising no invasion, no economic coercion, no use of force, no nukes pointed at Ukraine. It sounded like a great deal, but reality check, those assurances weren't legally binding. Go back to 2014, Russia annexed the Crimea in Ukraine, and in 2022, Russia launched a full force invasion. The United States and the United Kingdom, while they had sanctions and weapons and thoughts and prayers, there was no direct military intervention. Russia violated the agreement, and the United States and the United Kingdom condemned it, but didn't send troops. The Budapest Memorandum was just a promise. It wasn't a guarantee. So what if Ukraine had kept all those nukes? Would Russia have invaded? No. Nuclear deterrence does kind of work. Would Ukraine have been able to maintain them? That's pretty tricky. They need serious upgrades, tech upgrades, and Western help. Now, the Budapest Memorandum is one of the big lessons. Security assurances are just words. If you're not in NATO, you're going to be out there on your own alone. Ukraine traded real power, its nukes, for paper promises that nobody backed. And now it's paying the price. So the takeaway for everybody is don't give up your nukes.